Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the controversies involving Hunter Biden? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of Hunter Biden, then I'll move to my analysis. Robert Hunter Biden was born in Wilmington, Delaware, on February 4, 1970. He goes by the name Hunter. His mother was named Nelia, and his father is Joe Biden, who, at the time making this video, is the 46th President of the United States. Hunter had an older brother named Bo and a younger sister named Naomi. On December 18, 1972, Hunter and his brother were riding in the rear seat of a station wagon driven by his mother. His sister Naomi was on his mother's lap. His mother was driving west on Valley Road in northern Delaware when she approached the intersection with Limestone Road. The intersection was regulated by a stop sign in her direction, so she had to stop. The traffic on Limestone Road had the right of way. For some reason, she pulled out directly in the path of a tractor-trailer which was driving north on Limestone Road. Her reckless behavior resulted in a collision which killed her and her daughter. Hunter sustained a fractured skull and severe traumatic brain injuries. His brother Bo had a broken leg. To offer some context to this collision, in 1972, it was fairly common for vehicle occupants to avoid seatbelt use, and car seats for infants were not particularly common. Hunter's father, Joe Biden, would later claim that the truck driver was intoxicated, but there is no evidence supporting this theory. Hunter recovered from his injuries and would eventually graduate from high school. He would go on to earn a bachelor's degree in history, and in 1996, he graduated from law school. Hunter worked as a consultant for a bank holding company called MBNA. Joe Biden, who was a senator at that time, supported laws that helped MBNA, and the company generously donated over $200,000 to Joe Biden's campaigns. Hunter left the company in 2001 and worked for the United States Department of Commerce. After this, he became a lobbyist for a firm that he co-founded. In 2006, Hunter and his uncle purchased a hedge fund. In 2008, Hunter started a consulting company. In 2009, he started an investment firm and a venture capital firm. Hunter earned millions of dollars over the next several years, including almost $4 million from a Chinese energy company with connections to the Communist Party in China. Hunter went on to serve as a board member for a private equity fund in China. He resigned in 2019 after Donald Trump accused him of earning millions of dollars from the equity fund. Hunter denied that he earned any money, so I guess he was just working out of the goodness of his heart. In May of 2013, Hunter was allowed into the U.S. Naval Reserve as an officer, despite being above the minimum age limit and having been involved in a disqualifying drug-related incident. The Navy was positive that breaking their own rules for Hunter was a great idea. He was going to be an excellent naval officer with a long and distinguished career. He was going to stand out from the other new officers. Well, the Navy was right about the last point. On Hunter's first day on the naval base, he stood out by testing positive for cocaine. He was promptly discharged from the Navy. Hunter explained what happened by saying he was outside of a bar and smoked some cigarettes that may have been laced with cocaine. The cigarettes belonged to other people. He did not know anything about the cocaine part. I guess he was trying to say that he didn't have his own cigarettes, therefore he asked someone else, and they just happened to give him these cocaine-laced cigarettes. Like they were all out of regular cigarettes and thought, this guy wouldn't mind a little cocaine. Everybody knows that cigarette smokers carry a variety of cigarettes, some regular ones, some that have cocaine. Variety is the spice of life. In 2014, Hunter became a board member for a Ukrainian natural gas company. He earned up to $50,000 a month for about 5 years. Just as was the case with China, some people were concerned about a conflict of interest because Hunter Biden's father was Joe Biden. In this case, Joe Biden's anti-corruption work in Ukraine caused the concern. Starting in 2018, Hunter Biden was under investigation by federal prosecutors in Delaware regarding payments he received from foreign entities. His tax affairs were also being investigated. In October of 2020, it was reported that Hunter Biden left a laptop computer at a Delaware repair shop in 2015. The computer was recovered and examined. It contained a number of emails and files that didn't look too good for Hunter or his father, including those that suggested Joe Biden had inappropriate dealings with foreign entities. For example, in one email, an advisor from that Ukrainian natural gas company thanked Hunter for the invitation to meet then Vice President Joe Biden. The media tried to contain the story by spreading a false conspiracy theory that the laptop computer was part of a Russian disinformation campaign. Eventually, they gave up trying to hide it. In March of 2022, the New York Times reported that the files from Hunter's laptop were authentic. Reportedly, the FBI seized the laptop. There was no Russian disinformation campaign, only the typical U.S. media disinformation campaign. Taking a look at Hunter's relationship history, he married in 1993 and had 3 children. He divorced in 2017. In 2016, he started dating the widow of his brother, Beau, who died of brain cancer in 2015. The relationship would last 3 years. In August of 2018, Hunter had a daughter with a clothing-challenged dancer named London Roberts. Hunter married a filmmaker in May of 2019 and had a son in March of 2020. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in the case of Hunter Biden. Item number 1. Hunter Biden has used a phenomenal quantity of substances in his life. In his book titled Beautiful Things, he spent a lot of time talking about alcohol, crack cocaine, and substance use counseling, including AA meetings and spending time in rehabilitation facilities. Hunter's struggle with substance use was really the dominant narrative in his life. During a party after his father was reelected for the Senate in 1978, 8-year-old Hunter had a glass of champagne. This was the first time he would drink. When he was 14, he had his first drink with an understanding of what he was doing. He occasionally drank during high school. He was arrested at the age of 18 for possessing cocaine, but his record was expunged. This is a typical outcome for a minor offense. Hunter continued to drink throughout college, but said that a lack of money limited his alcohol consumption. When he gained access to substantial amounts of money, his alcohol and crack cocaine use skyrocketed. He had the freedom to buy as much as he wanted, and he made liberal use of that freedom. Hunter's first wife accused him of using money on drugs, alcohol, adult entertainment facilities, sex workers, and gifts for women with whom he was having sex. Item number 2. Why did Hunter struggle so much with substance use? In his book, Hunter offered a number of reasons why his substance use was out of control. He blamed genetics, trauma, and bad luck. He said that after his brother died, he drank excessively, like he was trying to cope with grief. He blamed mental health professionals and rehabilitation centers, implying that they were part of a multi-billion-dollar industry that had little success in actually helping people. I find this interesting because the way that Hunter talked about his substance use in his book, it really seems like he externalized it, like the substances represented this entity which was separate from him or his decisions. He talked about how he couldn't get control of it, rather than saying something like he refused to stop his behavior. There wasn't much of an attempt to take true ownership. He described his drinking behavior as if he was watching himself from a distance. It was like he was a victim of substances. What could he do against the incredible power of crack cocaine? There is this sense that Hunter wants his story to give hope to people who are addicted to substances. But I think his real message is this: a person can get through it if they are from a wealthy, prominent, and politically connected family. Which brings me to item number 3. Hunter Biden downplayed how important his family name has been in his life. He suggested that the Biden name may have opened a few doors, but his qualifications and accomplishments speak for themselves. I'm not sure Hunter should be bringing too much attention to his accomplishments. Most people don't believe that destroying their lives with alcohol and crack cocaine counts as an accomplishment. That's really closer to an undesirable outcome. To be fair to Hunter, I would agree that his undesirable outcomes speak for themselves. The reality is that Hunter's last name helped him to earn millions of dollars and avoid responsibility for his behavior. When Hunter would engage in episodes of crack cocaine consumption, he would carry around his brother's Attorney General badge and a business card from the Secret Service. On one occasion, the police were called after a car rental company employee found drug paraphernalia and cocaine in a car Hunter had rented. The police called the Secret Service and ultimately dropped the investigation. Hunter denied receiving any special treatment, but it's abundantly clear that he did. Item number 4. The files on Hunter's laptop computer represent an unending source of embarrassment and liability for Joe Biden. Joe Biden does a pretty good job embarrassing himself. He really doesn't need any help. I find it interesting that Hunter would use his last name to make money, but somehow not recognized how ill-advised it was to abandon his computer, like he wanted all the benefits of being connected with none of the liability. He knew that people were paying attention to his behavior, yet he made a mistake which was easily avoidable. Item number 5. In his book, Hunter pretends that he is taking responsibility, but he really isn't. Hunter said that writing the book wasn't easy. As it turns out, reading it wasn't either. It was not poorly written, like there weren't any problems with grammar or anything. Rather, the self-centeredness and sense of entitlement which came through the pages was pronounced. I talked about how Hunter blamed the mental health profession and the drugs themselves for his problems. In addition, he blamed the media and Donald Trump for his failures. There's the sense that Hunter believes himself to be an incredible, successful, and amazing person who would be fine if people would stop pointing out all of his destructive behaviors. He could rebuild if people would stop holding him accountable. Item number 6. The dynamic between Hunter Biden and his brother may explain some of Hunter's behavior. One could argue that Beau Biden was Joe Biden's favorite son. Joe thought that Beau could be president someday. Beau was a reasonably successful district attorney who almost certainly would have eventually run for governor of Delaware and been elected if he had not died. He did not have a substance use problem. He did not want to ride his father's coattails. He served in the military and was awarded a Bronze Star, and Beau was an eloquent supporter of his father. One time when answering a question about how Joe Biden was a never-ending gaffe machine, Beau said that Joe was a great listener and a phenomenal father. An exemplary sidestep like that indicates that Beau was a born politician. I wonder if Beau Biden's tragic death did not violate Hunter's sense of fairness and his understanding of morality. Here, his brother followed all the rules for his entire life, yet died at the age of 46. Hunter, on the other hand, was a repeated failure. He used substances, found himself in trouble frequently, depended on his father's name, and would have caused a scandal for Joe if not for the media's perpetual protection of the president. Despite all this, Hunter somehow escaped almost all the negative consequences of his behavior. This may have caused Hunter to believe that morality was not important, like people might as well live however they want because good deeds are not rewarded. I wonder if it made Hunter kind of give up on trying to be successful. Now moving to my final thoughts. I have mixed feelings about Hunter Biden. He definitely endured a few terrible events in his life, like the vehicle collision that killed his mother, his sister, and injured him, and the untimely death of his brother. At the same time, Hunter really did just about everything wrong as far as being the son of a prominent politician. He reinforced all of these stereotypes about how the children of politicians enjoy an unearned life of privilege. Instead of making it on his own, he used his father's influence to become wealthy. Then he used his wealth to fuel his addiction. Instead of taking ownership, he blamed mental health professionals, suggesting that they were the bad guys, not the person who continued to choose using substances. In addition, Hunter blamed the media, which I find particularly amusing considering it was the media who prevented Joe Biden from suffering consequences from Hunter's behavior. Hunter should be thanking the media, not criticizing them. The media even promoted false conspiracy theories to protect Joe Biden. There's really nothing they wouldn't do and no ethic they would not violate to offer protection to the president. Perhaps Hunter Biden's fixation on the media is based in jealousy. One could say that the media represents the son that Joe Biden never had. Those are my thoughts on Hunter Biden. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be as intriguing as cocaine-flavored cigarettes. Thanks for watching.